Casey here from The Conscious Builder, and today I figured we would come on and talk briefly about water and foundations because we're getting some record-breaking rain right now in Ottawa, and I've had a few calls today about foundations leaking, roofs leaking, but I do want to touch on the foundations because a lot of people think that their foundations are waterproof, and what that's actually called is damp proofing. So it's more, you've probably seen like the dimply black stuff that's put on a foundation, or if it's an ICF, it's like a peel and stick, either white Suprema or the blue skin, something like that. But it's a peel and stick product of some sort. That is all damp proofing. And there's a lot more to getting water away from your foundation. So that's one part of the system as a whole. And we've always talked about the system, your house being a system, right? And there's the same thing with the foundation. So on newer houses, you're also gonna have the drain tile. Older houses should have that as well, depending on how old they are. Might be the clay tiles, which maybe aren't working very well. But you have the damp proofing on the foundation, and you have the drain tiles going around your footing. And then grading is just as important as well, because that damp proofing doesn't usually go, well, depending on where your grade's at, doesn't usually go above your grade because it doesn't look very good. So you'll have your damp proofing on your foundation, and you'll have the grading that comes above that, and then there's parging, right? Just so it looks nicer. And if your grading is sloped back towards the foundation, then that water can actually get in behind the damp proofing, and then you could have a leaky foundation or a slow leak somewhere. Not a big deal if you don't have a finished basement, but obviously we don't really want water in our basements, any water. But if you have a finished basement, it's more serious concern, because if you have carpet or drywall or whatever insulation down along the ground, that's going to be an issue. Another issue is hydrostatic pressure. So what happens is if the soil around a house gets completely soaked with water and it can't take anything, that's all that water pressure is extra weight that starts to push on the foundation and come up through the floor. So if you don't have actual, in an older house, it might just be concrete on the ground in the basement, right? You don't have like a vapor barrier, or sorry, like a poly barrier or insulation below your slab. That water could come up. But even still, even if you have something, if there's any holes anywhere, the water could potentially come up. And this can be an issue with houses that are built on rock. So here in Ottawa, the Canadian Shield goes through part of the city, and we're actually building a house right now. If you're following it, check it out. The net zero home, that house is going to be built on rock. So we need to take precautions to make sure that that hydrostatic pressure does not build up and come up into that basement, because it's a more serious concern when there's rock, because water is not going to absorb into the rock. So there's less soil for that water to absorb into. So whenever you're building a house or renovating it, whatever it may be, make sure your foundation contractor or your general contractor understands how everything is working together, and maybe get some more advice on what the soil conditions are like and how much water it can hold and so forth. But remember, damp proofing, drain tile, grading, and then on the interior side, you can do, assuming it's a newer home, you can do all of your insulation, seal it, poly. If it's an older home, I'll touch briefly on that too. On the cheaper side, I guess you can get into the products. Oh, we're boring Sullivan here. We can get into the products that are maybe sit on top of the foundation, but that's not necessarily going to get rid of the water, but it can definitely help. So talk to your foundation contractor, figure out what your options are best in your area, and make sure you talk to all the right people and get all the appropriate information. Hey, Casey from The Conscious Builder. Thanks for watching this week's episode. If you have any questions, use hashtag AskCaseyG, post it to any of the social media, or post a question below this video. Next week, we're gonna be talking about what a fixed price contract is. So subscribe to your right, my left, if you want to catch that next episode. Side note, it's daddy duty today too. It's summertime, so we gotta improvise. Sullivan, did I miss anything? No, I got everything? You smiling? You're supposed to smile when you're on camera.